Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been about a good week or so since I hopped on here and gave you any kind of updates. We're on the last day of 2025 and tomorrow's gonna be 2026. Um, I just want to do a recap of this year. So I've gone through plenty of changes here and there. Some of them are significant, some of them are minor changes. I've done a lot of inner work, of course, by the grace of God and with the help of God, of course, most importantly. And um, I did a lot of letting go, a lot of um, looking inward, a lot of soul searching, and there were certain things that I had to get rid of in my life, like a lot of decluttering of old stuff, items, ideas, habits, what have you. And I'm just glad that I did that because it was very healing. And if you have a relationship with God and you believe in God, you know that healing can't happen without God. We all know that. And this year was very healing in a lot of ways because I carried a lot of extra baggage. I carried a lot of um like dead weight when it comes to psychological things and like mental health stuff. And I prayed throughout this year like I've never prayed before about various different things. And I don't want to hang on to anything, whether it be it like actual items or emotional baggage, psychological stuff, um, old wounds. I'm still healing. I'll admit I'm still healing, but I did come a long way this year though, with the whole healing thing, especially when it came to my abuser. If you don't know, I was abused for 5 years at an office when I was living in New Jersey. And I still have a lot of healing that needs to take place when it comes to that. But I have to give it to God and let God take care of it. I don't believe in revenge. I don't believe in gossiping about her or being judgmental and critical of her. Um, I do use discernment, which is observation plus common sense, and God would want me to do that. And I don't want to cling on to anything that doesn't belong in my life. I just really want to be off with the old, on with the new. Let's move on to the next best thing, see where it takes me. Um, I don't, and again, I don't know what the future holds, only God does. I did work a lot on frugal minimalism this year. I did get rid of all my debt. I did save as much money as I can. And of course, um, I took care of my bills and all this other stuff. Of course, that comes with the territory. I don't buy as much as I used to. I do believe in my previous video when it came to frugal minimalism that I am not going to be buying a lot of the products that I've bought throughout the years. So body creams, lotions, the witch hazel, the cotton balls that I buy. I really don't need that stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna just sack it up and throw it out. I spent money on these items. I want to use them until they're all done, but I'm not gonna restock them. I really don't need to. And I came up with a better method of doing that. I'm gonna be buying uh the olive oil, no, not the olive oil, the coconut oil soap from Organic Fiji. And it's all natural. It's nothing like toxic or anything like that. So I'm going to be buying those soaps and utilize them when I'm done with all the soap that I have, which is going to be about at least a couple months or so. And when it comes to my theme for 2026, it's going to be YOLO. You only live once. So what that means is that there's going to be more healing, more letting go. I'm going to be doing things that are going to push me out of my comfort zone because that's what I need. Um, I'm not going to let fear stand in the way and hesitate to do things that should have been done a long time ago. And I don't want to dilly-dally. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to be on the fence about anything. I don't want to do any of that. And moving forward, I really have to do things that scare me. Not in a dangerous way. Not at all in a dangerous way. But I don't want to cling on to fear and worry and concern and be like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? That's not a healthy way of thinking. So I really need to kick the habit of like the whole negativity bit, the whole unhealthy ways of thinking, and I'm going to be declaring that in the new year. Do I need to be realistic about what goes on? Yes, absolutely. Sometimes being realistic involves negativity too. I mean, you can't go through life thinking it's all sunshine and rainbows when it's not. But you also have to look at the light at the end of the tunnel too. Whenever that takes place, however that takes place, for me personally, the light of the tunnel is the Lord. Because He will always pull me through whatever I go through. Whether I go through the good, the bad, the ugly, anything in between, He is right there by my side whenever I need Him. So that also means whether you believe it or not, whether you realize it or not, He's right there, right by your side whenever you need Him to. Point blank. And I don't, like I said, I don't want to go through life being negative, clinging on to fear, being coulda, woulda, shoulda, or what if this, what if that. I've been in so much of a habit of doing that like mentally I get burnt out by doing that. And lately somebody has been helping me not to take things personally, take things to heart. I was born a sensitive person. I am a highly sensitive person. I'm an empath. I do take things to heart by my own very nature. I do. I'll admit it. I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. I'm still like that at the age of 45. But the problem is that it gets to the point as it were it's unhealthy, and I ruminate in my mind about things that were said, things that were done. Did I handle this right? What if I could have done better? What if I did something worse the next time? I can't be driving myself crazy over that. So I have somebody in my life who's been helping me to be more positive about stuff, to just live and let go, live and let God. When somebody says something stupid or whatever, just leave it alone. Don't even say anything back, don't ruminate. But I also don't, and I understand where this person is coming from, but I also don't want to deny my own feelings, because that's not going to help either. But I think this person just doesn't want to see me be hurt and be in a hurt state, which I appreciate. Sometimes I think to myself, like, am I really crossing the line when it comes to taking things personal? Sometimes I think I do. Oftentimes without realizing it. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to, ruminate and, give into self-pity and all this other stuff. But I also don't want to, be in denial and brush things under the rug, because that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen either. That's not going to help. I think God would want me to strike a happy, healthy medium. He doesn't want me to be fixated on stuff, but He also doesn't want me to ignore it either. And I'm working really hard at not being fixated on certain things that just don't matter. And I really don't want to dwell on the past. Having said that, I don't want to dwell on how people have hurt me. When I reflect on a past, when it comes to somebody hurting me, it's more like I'm trying to gain insight as to why. It's not coming from a place of self-pity or coulda, woulda, shoulda, or what if this, what if that. Sometimes, yes, I did get flustered, I get angry, I get upset over certain things, and then I feel what I feel, and I just leave it go and offer it up to God. I always try to make a point to pray for these people who hurt me. Even though, yes, throughout the past year and a half, really, I've been really venting out in prayer about how certain things were and how certain current situations are in my life. And I believe wholeheartedly that God would want me to. He'd want me to be open and honest with him about what's taking place, what is taking place, what's working, what's not working. He would want me to be open about how I feel about certain things. And if I hold back, then I feel like I'm not being honest with God. I feel like I'm lying to him and I'm lying to myself as well. Because I give into denial at that point, and I don't want to do that. And there we have it. Those are the things I'm working on currently, and I'm going to be continue working on them by the grace of God, and also praying to God to help me in the coming year. I hope you have a happy new year. Bye, guys.